From Studio A at 1 Biloxi Square in Fort Worth, Texas, this is the Grandpa and Pappy Show. Hey, welcome in to the Grandpa and Pappy Show. It's good to have everybody with us for this Friday edition. I'm telling you, this whole world's getting crazier and crazier. And I got tickled this morning. I think you were in there when we saw this come across. Is maybe a little friction
Jill has
happening
spoken.
in the Democratic Party. The wife of our president told her aides that as far as Kamala Harris is concerned, the vice president, she can go F herself. So I don't know.
She's been taking some Trump lessons. That's what she's been doing.
Yeah. I'm drinking a little of that Trump juice.
Yeah.
Hey, it's good to have everybody with us today as we
welcome aboard,
close out
everybody.
our week together. And we had an interesting topic for today's show. A listener had asked me my opinion, so I thought I would ask your opinion.
Shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, with all of the stuff going on in Israel right now,
Yeah.
the question was, should the United States back Israel?
What's your feelings on that?
I certainly do. I certainly
You agree
do.
with it? Yeah.
Absolutely agree.
I mean, you start looking at it, and you've got that one little tiny spot right in the middle of,
Yeah,
right in the middle of all that
they are our
ugliness
greatest.
going on over there.
They are our greatest ally,
Yeah.
and you know, if you were grown up in a Christian atmosphere, you know that Israel is God's chosen people.
Yep.
And there's all kinds of references to it in the Bible. And if you read the Bible and you believe the Bible,
They're the chosen ones. Yeah.
man, you just can't ignore.
You know, in my
facts.
opinion on that, amigo, is this: as long as it doesn't turn into another Vietnam, you know.
Sure.
I mean, go there, take care of your business, and be done with it.
Well, here's the way I look at it. Israel can defend themselves. That ain't
They've showed that.
no problem. And here we got a president that's trying to ask Israel to back down when they're still firing rockets into Israel.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Well,
and Netanyahu just basically told Biden to go F yourself. You know, we're going to handle it.
Yeah.
So-
we got this.
You know, the United States has given Israel all kinds of technology and weapons and planes. They can defend themselves.
Well, you know, and it's like this. I mean, they are so outnumbered, not outclassed, but outnumbered over there that if they start whooping ass on everybody, that's going to create a big CF down on them, and that's where the U.S. is going to impede. I mean, after all, that's what Biden presented us by pulling troops out of Afghanistan. So
Yeah.
I think it's all hand in hand. you know.
It to me, it's crazy that we have a lot of the Democratic congressmen and people on the left are saying that it's Israel's fault that they started it. It is not. Look it up, research it, understand it, and know that it was Hamas that started this mess.
Get your facts straight, folks.
That's
Yep.
exactly right. Well, we had some great opinions as far
A
as
lot of comments on this.
yeah, should the U.S. back Israel? And our friend Eric Hudson started it off with a great statement, and I'm going to read this to you. Eric Hudson says, "This is a serious question.
Yeah.
Can anyone explain can anyone explain what the deal is with Israel and Palestine? without any political bias. I wish I could have someone educate me on why we should or shouldn't intervene, the pros and cons of such, and who is who when it comes to sides of that conflict.
That's that's a good question, Eric.
It's a very
really
appropriate way to start our conversation today, and the opinions that you our viewers have. And so let's just dive in and go for it.
There you go. Shane Newton said yes, you want to stand with Israel, and Mike Tanner said absolutely. He also told Eric that it is complex in the answer, and it's best that you look it up for yourself. Judy Salem said, listen to Christian Radio 90.5 and ask this question. They can make it easier to understand.
And I'm sure they can.
My simple thoughts on that, read the Bible. That's what Christian Radio is preaching out of. Same
That's
book
exactly
that we was
right.
raised on. So, yeah.
Tommy Rita McCoffin said absolutely. And the why is that Israel is our one absolute trusted friend. James O'Donnell told us our relationship with Israel has been tenuous since Obama. Trump mended some fences, but I fear Biden is going to let it go.
Yeah.
And as we read these
That's exactly what he's
opinions,
doing,
as we read these opinions, you're going to see that a lot of you are taking that very same stance.
Yeah, that's a fact. Paul Edgar told us that if you don't support Israel, you don't support God. That's simple. Darletta McCauley Holland said if we don't support them, then God turns against us. Frank Valleys, Marty Blackwell Briscoe, and Melissa Parker Dawson all said definitely support them.
Absolutely. Darla Walker looked at it from a different angle when she told us absolutely not. And it's taken a lot of research to come to that conclusion. Israel's people are not the problem. It's their deep state elite leaders and their true owners, the Rothschilds, a.k.a. the fake Karzanian mafia, not even Jewish. I'll post a link for those who want to know the truth. Oh, and 9/11 was an inside job of our own deep state and Israeli leaders.
Israeli leaders, really?
Well, Darla, I respect your opinion. I really do, but I just have to disagree with you on that.
I would like to see that link, though, Darla.
Yeah.
I mean, we're always intrigued. I mean, even beyond our research, if somebody comes up with a post that stout, we'd like to know where it came from. So, yeah, post it up for us. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Darla's post created some ruffled feathers from our listeners, like Paul Edgar, who asked if you think God can't handle Israel's deep state, you might want to think again. Kimberly Smith Hogg told Darla that it sounds like BS anti-Semitic propaganda. Take that crap somewhere else. Well, she don't need to take it somewhere else. That's exactly the premises of our show.
Absolutely.
She's
Absolutely.
entitled to her opinion just as you are.
Absolutely. Charlie George told us that Israel is God's chosen people. If we accept Scripture, we will defend Israel. Faith Hope agreed, saying you don't ignore the Word of God. We should stand with Israel. America has evil leaders too, and many nations have corrupt leaders mingled within. Alex Palomo says he totally agrees. Well, there you go.
There you go. Mark Riggs said, other than the obvious connection with Israel and God, we should stand with them because they're our greatest ally in the Middle East. Bingo.
Yeah.
That is one reason why we have supplied arms and technology to them for years.
That's exactly correct. And look how many times Israeli pilots have come to America to learn how to fly the new jets and helicopters. You know,
they don't play around when they're up in the sky.
Our friend Tim, who works at Bell Helicopter, he teaches military and other people from around the world how to fly those helicopters. So they got good training, and Tim is good at what he does. So there you go. James Gordon Wolf said, too many people over there are believing that the Jews don't have a right to exist. I can understand the resentment, as a lot of people feel displaced, and in fact, they were. But to say that someone does not have the right to exist is swinging the pendulum too far to the extreme.
That's well said, James. That is discrimination and racism at its finest right there.
Right there.
So,
yeah, you're absolutely correct.
It's been going on forever. John Underwood told us we either support Israel or you support Islam. If your neighbor randomly chunks grenades over the fence into your yard, are you going to sit there and take it, or are you going to launch some stuff back?
This is a good analogy. I love this.
Palestinian martyrs' families are paid when a Jew is killed. That is paying bounties for lives or pay to slay. They want death to the Jews and death to America. And if you are all right with that, you're pretty stupid. These fools live to kill and live to die. When your whole life and religion is based on hate, death, and murder, don't come crying when people start to slap back, while you hide behind women and children and fire rockets from schools, churches, and hospitals the whole time.
Yeah, and that's what they're doing, actually.
That's pretty well said, yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here. I didn't get the guy's name. Oh, this was, I'm so sorry. This was our friend from up at Bees.
Who?
And I am just absolutely Crawford Young.
Oh, Crawdaddy.
He said I'm as pro-Israel as the next guy and pro-Trump. But that doesn't mean I spread fertilizer just because it fits my agenda. My son fought in Iraq and Afghanistan. My daughter is an officer in the U.S. Army.
I didn't know that about Crawdaddy.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Sure did.
Well, thank him for the services for us, brother.
Absolutely.
Hillary Catherine Frazier said, "What a dumb question. Why would we not fully support our ally and God's chosen people? People are really crazy for questioning that." G.W. Rutledge said, "Yes, they are God's chosen ones."
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yep. GW. Hey, we're going to take a brief time out, and we have more of your opinions coming up here on the Grandpa and Pappy Show. But first of all, let's take this brief time out, and we'll be right back.
Good.
Hey, did we do that termite inspection?
That discount agent said we didn't need to.
That boy better quit texting walking down them steps.
He may come into reality very soon.
We'll take a big roll and tumble it.
It's a Friday edition of the Grandpa and Pappy Show, and we are so thrilled that you are here with us. And we're thrilled that you took time out of your busy day to not only join us, but express your opinions on the question of the day. And that question is...
That's what we do.
That's it. Should the United States back Israel in their conflict that's going on right now?
Yeah, you know, a lot of people have mixed emotions as we're seeing about this. One of them I'd read here, I guess, about a week ago is, why should we have their back when they're not over here helping us solve our problems? Well, there again, I'd like to know from where you're researching, you know.
I had something clever to say, but I better not. I may get arrested.
I dare you.
Yeah, I don't think it'd be very wise to take out our leadership to solve our problems.
Send it into the show podcast page on Facebook. We'll get by with that kind of
There
stuff
you
on
go.
there sometimes. Yeah.
Let's get back to
Okay.
some of the opinions that you guys voiced to us on this subject. Should the United States back Israel in their conflict? Jeff Thompson says the USA should turn a blind eye and just let Israel do what Israel has needed to do.
Thank you.
Israel doesn't need our support or permission. The Syrian and Jordanian Muslims firing rockets indiscriminately at Jewish communities cannot be tolerated. If I was in charge, the Golan Heights would be flattened, then the West Bank if troubles persist.
There you go. I mean, why dive in unless they need our help? If they ask for our help, hey, we're you huckleberry.
Hey, I'm telling you, Israel has got the stuff to do just what Jeff said.
It's a powerful little country.
Don't push them Jewish people.
They've been quiet long enough.
They will fight back. I'm telling you, they will fight back.
Ruth Ann Rutherford, Earl Anderson, Catherine Autry, and Rusty Wheeler all said we should absolutely support them. Shane Maple said yes because the Bible says to. Tony Decker says yes, they should. This is the only democracy in the Middle East.
That's exactly correct.
Yep.
He's exactly correct.
Bingo.
Paula Hicks Butler says, most definitely, we are their allies. We are a Christian nation that supports Christian nations, not Muslim nations.
Yeah.
Deidre Tedford Smith also said yes because they are our greatest ally.
You know, I tell you what, those Muslims are pouring in like the
Yeah,
like
and
the
then you got
you-know-who's on the Guadalupe, yeah.
You have got some congressmen up there condemning Israel for killing children and women, you know, in this conflict. Yeah. Well, if Hamas would quit hiding behind the women and children, that wouldn't happen.
Yeah,
that wouldn't happen.
And if most of y'all hadn't got brainwashed into going over to Paradise Island, you know, probably wouldn't have these stupid ass thoughts.
Isn't that the truth? We're going to ask Special K here in a little bit what her opinion is. I'd like to hear it. No? You don't want to? Boy, she gets off on a tangent.
That makes me want to hear it more.
Yeah.
She shakes her head no. Leonard Fisher said, absolutely. Those who do not come to her aid will be cursed to endure the same. Mary Sue Taylor agreed, saying, if we turn our backs on Israel, then God will turn his back to us. So it is written.
So it is written.
Yeah.
So let it be written. So let it be done.
Press hard, 14 copies.
Yes, thank you very much.
Yeah, I think the world's got that memo.
I think so too. Jeff Thompson said, remember the 1948 genocide? Well, no, I really don't. I'll have to research that.
You should.
The Syrians ethnically, if I can spit it out there, ethnically cleansed Jerusalem, claiming that they had destroyed the area so no Jew would return. This was pre-Palestinian resurrection.
Yeah, and they've been riding that train. So far, they hadn't run out of tracks.
Yeah,
that's
no
right.
kidding.
Wendell Glenn Pugh said yes because we need to annihilate the Islamists. John Underwood came back and told Wendell that they think jihad is how they get to paradise. So punch that ticket and send them on that cruise, by God. Happy sailing.
Oh, excuse me, that got to me too.
I agree with you, Wendell. That was
Wendell, that's a great punchline. So punch that ticket and send them on that cruise.
That's it. All aboard.
That was too good. Jerry Williamson said, yes, they have and always will be our strongest ally on the planet. Alice Harvey, Sam Holmes, Johnny Northcutt, Sandra Pulser, and Greg Gillette all said yes. No doubt about it.
No doubt about it. Tom Hollis said yes because if you want to be blessed, bless Israel. If you want to be cursed, then curse Israel. Not sure if the verse is in Genesis 12. Tony Haha said, right on, Tom.
Right on, big
Right
boy.
on.
Francis Blevins says, do you remember 9/11? And this September is the 30th anniversary. We taught them what they did to us. A woman wants to treat women for free learning all in America. God, we forgive all, or we will not be forgiven.
Isn't it the 20th anniversary?
It is. That's what I was just getting ready to
I'm
say.
just
2001.
repeating what they say. I forgive them, but I don't want them here.
Yep.
Debbie Hopwood said, absolutely. It is in the Bible.
Yeah, that's a day that's etched in my mind. That screwed my whole lifestyle up at 9/11.
I will never forget that day either.
Well, they made me come. I was in New Zealand. Been over there for about 8.5 months, and because I was a dignitary, you got to go home, mate. I was about that far from being a double citizen. That made me so damn mad. Yeah, that was the world I came home to was definitely not the same.
Yeah. It definitely changed the way we live today.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It really is.
Jeff Patke told us, yes, the Jewish people are great people. Terrorists are the worst. AOC should be classified as a terrorist. Support Israel. They're true friends. I hate Democrats like Biden and haters like the AOC.
Mm-hmm. Alexandria.
How do you really feel, Jeff?
Yeah, no kidding. Shirley Mills said, I have always believed that the people of Israel were good.
Yeah.
Someone should help them to eliminate the terrorist. Jay Kositz says, yes, we should stand with Israel. And Earl Anderson said we had better stand with Israel.
Oh.
Boy, losing a great ally like that in the Middle East, woo, that would not be a good thing for us.
No. Well, it just opens that many more doors for, well, what's his name? To close out this segment on today's show, Thomas More said that if you are one of the Christian, what am I reading here? Thomas More said if
you are of the
Christian belief, I'm sorry,
Yeah.
Thomas, and you believe what the Bible tells us, you should be behind the U.S. backing Israel. History in the Bible has shown us that God will destroy nations who come against his people. Besides all of that, Israel is the only true ally in the entire Middle East. America has known this since the creation of the Israeli state and has continuously backed them. I see no reason to stop now.
Thomas, that's a good observation.
And I don't either, Thomas. I really don't.
That is a really, good observation.
Yeah, thanks for sending that in.
Good
bud.
Lord.
Yeah.
Man, we're still getting in some comments on this subject, but of course, like we've told you many times, we do have a cutoff for those opinions to make our show. And we apologize if we didn't get yours on here, but if we still get a lot in, we may be making another show.
Part two.
Yeah.
I guess.
Well, we got some great comments in this past week. We had several comments on our open carry show that we did last week. Eddie Cantu said there are 20 other states that all open carry way before Texas ever thought of it.
Yep.
Where I was born in Wyoming, you never had to have a permit to carry, and the crime rate is less than 1%.
I wouldn't go up there monkey footing around.
I'm telling you.
Yeah. Russell Curlin, who's also
He's up in Wyoming,
fella
isn't he?
from Wyoming. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where he's born and reared. Yeah. Also told us to have at it. We used to walk from school just out of town to hunt and shoot. No one said a word when a bunch of kids walked around with 22s and shotguns. Heck, we'd stop by the A&W for food. Knowing him, he probably didn't have to pay for
Let me
it
ask
either.
you this. When you were in high school, how many kids or guys came to school in their pickups with shotguns over the window, back window,
right in the back
rack?
window. Usually too deep.
Yeah,
I lost a .22 rifle that way.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
But I can remember that. Nobody was ever shot.
Nah.
Nobody was ever shot. They knew better.
Well, out of respect from being shot, nobody screwed around with your truck. You know? I mean, I was a little short, fat kid. I didn't even want to get beat up, let alone shot.
James Thomas said our show on Biden's first 100 days struck a nerve. You're going to love this one, folks. Okay, I admit, I'm a registered Democrat, and I voted that way.
Yeah.
But after watching this clown and his cronies, I am ashamed I did. I catch enough flack from my family as it is.
Ooh, I feel your pain, James. I feel your pain, brother.
James, I thank you for being so honest.
Yeah.
And I bet he does catch it from his family if they're a Republican.
And that's not uncommon. You know, I mean, there's a lot of Dems that are hopping the fence.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I saw a thing the other day that a recent survey showed that less than 58% of registered Democrats would vote for Biden again.
Really?
Yeah. Yep, recent poll. Saw that yesterday.
So that means they're going to dig up all them people again?
Well, I don't know about that, but
Well, yeah, you do.
there you go.
Yeah, you do. And to close out of your comments on this week's show, Mark Roman said on YouTube that he'd like to see us have more guests on our show. Well, I would too. I just watched Thomas Gabriel on one of your shows and was blown away by him, just as we all are.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thomas is a good man. He really is. I've enjoyed all the shows I've watched since subscribing, so keep it up. Thank you. Well, thank you, Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
We appreciate you being on board with us, brother.
Yeah, and thank you for your subscription to YouTube.
And here's a question for you, Mr. Roman. Would you like to be on our show?
Yeah. Hey, that
Hit us
brings
up.
up another subject that Pappy and I have talked to you about over the recent weeks.
Yeah.
If you would like to be on this show
This
with
is
us,
a really big shoe.
rare on our show. No, yeah, you get me started off on that. If you'd like to be here on our show, get in touch with us and let us know, because we would like to have our viewers' comments live here on the program. And it's very simple. If you got a computer or an iPad, you can do it right there from your house, and we can bring you right in here to our studios.
So easy, even I
Yeah,
could
you
do
could do it in
yeah.
your pajamas if you want to. I don't care, but
Wear
we
no drawers
Just not
long as it's-
naked.
just not naked.
Oh, that's
Okay.
kinky.
Thank you very much.
Does that mean I need to put my drawers back on?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
golly.
you do. But we would love to have you. We had a guest on about a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks now. Mike Mackey joined us.
Mr. Mackey.
Gave us some great insight on some of the opinions going on in this country. Some very well thought out answers.
Oh, Mike's sharp cookie.
He is a very sharp
He's
cookie.
a deep thinker.
And we invite you on our show. We want to feature you and let people's voices be heard.
And there's one of a couple of ways we can do it, amigo. I mean, if you don't want your mug posted on the worldwide internet, we can go strictly audio. We know how to do these things.
Mm-hmm.
We have a technician over there
The
that's
amazing
second to none.
Special K.
She makes red buttons appear and all kind of stuff.
Hey, if you have a comment, suggestion, or otherwise for our show, it's very easy to get information into us.
And how do I do that, Andy?
Well, I'll be happy to tell you. You can go to our email address, which is right over my shoulder. Let me do it. Yep. It's grandpa and pappy at gmail.com.
That's a good way to get her done. Or you can hit us up on our show website, which can be found by keying in www.grandpa, the letter N, Pappy. That's grandpaandpappy.com, where you'll see a big old red button pop up. Eventually, hocus pocus, abracadabra. See? I'm a little slow today. You know, it's been a long week. Just push it. Yeah. Uncle Arthur. Just push that button and subscribe. That's all you got to do. That you've got access to everything we're all about from that page.
Absolutely. Or you can go to our Facebook group page, where you will see most of the opinions that we read on our show unfiltered and just like it is. Yeah. So we invite you to do that.
I learned all my dirtiest words from reading that.
But really, once again, as we wrap up today, we want you to have a great weekend. But again, Pappy and I do want to invite you to be on our show.
Yeah.
We have some interesting shows coming up. We have a program on the fundraiser for Cook's Children's Medical Center coming up.
I'm glad you brought that up. Yeah, that's an awesome cause right
yes,
there.
it certainly is. And we'll have two young ladies on here to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
And they are certainly the main cogs in this project. So
main cogs, that's like one of those woke words. Main cogs.
Did y'all hear where Debbie, what's her name? Levanto? What's the singer's
Demi
name?
Lovato.
Demi Lovato.
Okay. She has now claimed that she is binary.
Binary.
Hi.
And she is to be addressed as they.
They.
Meaning two people.
So, well, a psychiatrist.
And I'm like, okay,
I'll
that's
tell
a
you
very
what's up her
Looney Tunes.
skirt.
Psychiatrists have a word for that. I think it's called multiple personalities.
And also,
Speak into your mic, dear. Speak into your mic.
Also, did the viewers see where 7 counties in Oregon have voted to secede to Idaho?
Secede from Oregon to Idaho.
So that's an interesting thing that's come out this morning.
Yes, it
Hell,
did.
They claim they won't allow us Texicanos to do such a thing, but it's liable to happen
Well,
anyway.
they're not seceding from the United States.
Yeah,
They're seceding from that state.
their state.
From their state.
Yes.
Well, hell, I could never do that. Not being a Texan.
Well,
huh?
Texas will never do that. I can tell you that.
That's right. It's at least
It's been a lot of
last great white hope here.
It's been a lot of fun today, folks. We have really enjoyed visiting with you, and we'll be back on Monday with another show for you.
Yes, we will.
Have a great weekend, and
Well,
we
take-
end every.
Take care of one another.
That's exactly right. We end every show with the same way because it's so important. Reach out and hug your kids and let them know you love them. Tomorrow's not guaranteed, you know.
Before you let go of them, let them be made aware that they're well loved right here at the Grandpa and Pappy Show too. By God.
Absolutely. Till we see you back on Monday, have a great weekend, everybody. Take
please.
care of each other, like Pappy said. And God bless America and God bless you. We'll see you back on Monday.
Have a good weekend.
Bye-bye now.